The hospital was full of noise, sirens blaring, people rushing in and out, and nurses calling for doctors. When the ambulance arrived, nurses quickly brought a stretcher and carried Mr. John inside. Yuju and the children followed behind, their faces pale and full of fear. "Please save my husband," Yuju cried, as the nurses pushed the stretcher through the white hallway. The doctors went straight to work. They cleaned his wounds, gave him medicine, and rushed him into surgery. Yuju and the children waited outside, their hearts heavy. The little ones were still shaking from fear, holding tightly to their mother's wrapper. "Mama, will Papa die?" the youngest asked in a small voice. Yuju pulled her close and said softly, "No, my child. God saved us from that accident. He will save your father too." She knelt right there in the hospital hallway and began to pray again, tears falling from her eyes. "Lord, you saved us when the bus crashed. Please don't let my husband die. Give him another chance to live and see your power." Hours passed. Nurses moved in and out, but no one said anything. Yuju prayed without stopping. Finally, the door opened. A doctor walked out, his face tired but calm. "Madam," he said gently, "your husband is alive. The accident damaged both his legs, but we managed to save him. He will live." Yuju fell to her knees, crying with relief. "Thank you, Lord, thank you," she said over and over again. The children hugged each other, smiling through their tears. Their father was alive, that was all that mattered. When Yuju was allowed into the room, she saw Mr. John lying on the hospital bed. He was weak, but awake. His legs were wrapped in bandages. "Yuju," he whispered, "are you and the children okay?" "Yes, we're fine," she said, holding his hand gently. "God kept us safe." Mr. John closed his eyes and sighed. "I saw death today," he said slowly. "I thought it was over." Yuju smiled softly, her eyes still wet with tears. "God had mercy on us. He heard our prayers." Just then, the door opened again, and to everyone's surprise, the old woman Mr. John had met by the roadside walked in. Her steps were slow, but her eyes were strong and full of peace. When Mr. John saw her, his eyes widened. "You, Mama, what are you doing here?" The old woman looked at him quietly. "I told you not to travel, my son. I warned you to pray and fast, but you did not listen." Yuju gasped softly. So this was the woman her husband had told her about. The old woman walked closer to the bed and said calmly, "If not for your wife's prayers, you and your children would have died today. Her faith built a wall around your family that the devil could not break." Mr. John's eyes filled with tears. "I was foolish," he whispered. "I laughed at your words. I refused to pray." The old woman nodded slowly. "God has given you a second chance. Don't waste it." She smiled gently at Yuju. "Keep praying, my daughter. Your faith saved your family." And with that, she turned and quietly walked away. So grab your popcorn, sit back, and get ready for part 8 of one of the most powerful stories you've ever heard. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, turn on the notification bell to support more inspiring stories like this one, and click on the link below this video to watch the full story.